Welcome back to GFF and Friends, the podcast. The podcast that's strong enough for a man, but made for a woman. Hello. I'm your host, GFF, a.k.a. Todd, and joining me today is one of the funniest people on the planet, one of my greatest friends, my comedy soulmate.
Aww.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the pod, Sharon Houston.
Hi, Todd. Hi, podcast listeners and watchers.
Thank you so much for coming all the way over here to Glendale.
Oh, it's
to
fabulous.
The studio.
I mean, it is. Just for the audience, has anybody talked about coming up here yet?
Not about the journey.
Oh, not about the journey. It's a journey. And, let me tell you what I love about the hills of Glendale. Wide roads.
So much wider, especially compared to Hollywood.
Oh, Hollywood Hills,
God.
It's a death trap. I'm waiting to get killed around every corner. Here, I was like, oh, people are stopping.
Every single time I'm in the hills, I'm like, how did this happen and how does it work?
How does it work?
Continue?
I would kill myself.
A two-way street that isn't even wide enough for one car, let alone two cars.
Yeah.
Terrifying. But yeah, thank you for making the journey, the trek.
My pleasure.
Up here to the hills of Glendale. It's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you too. I haven't seen you in so long. I haven't seen you since No, I didn't get to see you the last time you came to LA from Seattle.
Yeah, I was down here. It's been almost a year. It was Thanksgiving.
Really?
Yeah.
I probably did see you over Thanksgiving. Last time I saw you, we went to Casita del Campo.
Yeah, it was right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But we were here. So our little trips are so fast now when we come down. It's always like 2 nights.
Yeah.
So we try to we always try to see like one person if that's even possible, and you're usually at the top of our list. But we were just here in February. We were only here for like 2 very fast nights. Like we got in at night and then we left early in the morning. So it was like one day.
So it was like you came here for sex and left.
Yeah, exactly. And then we were like off to Vegas. So we didn't.
Can we just talk about why people call it the walk of shame?
Why?
There's no shame. You just had sex with somebody,
right?
You're walking
and got
home.
to spend the night,
and you get to spend the night, and you're wrecked. You're hungover, but you look fabulous, even though you're a mess because your hair's like you've had sex. Your makeup's all over the place. If you're a boy, you just look hot.
Exactly. You probably had a good time.
Proud of myself. I call it the walk of game. Hey,
yeah, and you have game. You have good game.
I have really good game.
Yeah,
I've got a good story. Anyway, but probably not for this podcast. I don't know.
It can be.
I mean,
we're going to talk about food later, but you can also talk about other things you eat.
Oh, I didn't eat anything with this one.
Oh,
it didn't get that far because I was like, you are too young for me. I met him at an art gallery. So hot and so talented.
You've been on a young streak.
I haven't. This has been my entire life. I keep getting older. My boyfriends stay the same age. So the guys that ask me out, the same age. It's between 24 and 28. I'm not interested. But this guy was so sweet and so smart. But for some reason, I guess he had a girlfriend. And some girl started DMing me on Instagram, and she's like, I see that you have a connection with my 24-year-old boyfriend. I'm like, who told you we had a connection? I met him at an art gallery. He's a really good artist, and I told him he should email the owner of Eastern Project. Like, I don't understand. And so all these girls started coming for me on Instagram and TikTok, and I was like, I texted him, and I was like, yo, I don't know what's going on, but I don't have time for this shit.
Yeah.
Drop it.
Can human beings not just talk to each other? Does it have to always be like home wrecking?
Why does it home wrecking? Number one. Number two, like if you're going to be shady and you're Latino, oh, by the way, he was so Latino, like he stands in first position. That's how Mexican he is. Stands in first position. And
like a little homie from the arcade.
Yes.
Remember Little Homies?
Yes, like the Little Homies. Yes. That's based on real homies.
Yeah.
And it was just so funny because I just thought, well, I don't, these are the types of girls, they have a girl, they represent and they hold it down for their girl, right?
Yeah.
So I would go out, to a bar or something, and what if I get confronted by these girls that are like, so you're like seeing my man, and then I get knifed, I'm not interested.
Right? It's too much.
It's too much drama.
It's terrifying.
So from now on, only USC guys. If I go
in like actual college age USC guys.
Well, maybe no, like fresh graduate. If I would consider it, but I just don't. I can't.
I mean, if it's fulfilling one need over another, like you're not dating these men.
No,
these men are just
they're
tools.
just fun hangout. FWB situations.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny because I've been thinking about this a lot lately. It's become my biggest pet peeve, and I get that there can be like, it's situational and stuff like that. But like, case in point, Ariana Grande, her current boyfriend, who she's like madly in love with, like left his wife for her. First of all, who wouldn't do that? But second of all, I hate that people say that she's having an affair with him, and it's like she was single.
She was single.
She was single.
He's the one.
She's not having an affair with anyone.
Yeah.
He's the one who had an affair, if that even happened, because no one knows, and it's all speculation. But also, like, we have got to stop blaming the person outside of the relationship. It's the person in the relationship that's cheating and doing all this shit wrong. So, like, I hate it, and I know it's very Southern California thing to like. It happens in the gay community a lot too, because it happened to me before. Like, why are you staring at my boyfriend? And I'm like, nothing happened. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't even know who is your boyfriend. Which one?
Yeah, right. We were in a room together, and I looked at him. What are you talking about?
Yeah. And
that is like, you need therapy.
Yeah.
That's crazy that you are that intense on just owning someone like that.
It's
crazy. So weird. It's funny. Rob and I joke all the time because, we've been together almost, is this the 13th year? Yes.
Oh my goodness.
We've been together for 13 years. And we joke all the time that, like, if he was like, I need to tell you something, and I'm like, oh my God, what? My brain instantly goes to cancer, someone died, he's losing his job. And if he was like, I accidentally hooked up with someone when I was drunk, I'd be like, oh, I don't care about that. Like, we're not open or anything. We don't do stuff like that. But if it happened, we're both like, oh no, that's fine. Like, we don't care.
Right.
Accidents happen.
Yeah, it's not serious.
Yeah, like, we're not going to beat anybody up over shit like that. Like, I'm more worried about, like, your health and safety. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Maybe we're just
Did you get in a car accident?
Queens.
What happened?
Yeah.
Somebody stole the car?
But,
like, that's real life
if you're
stuff.
going to sit me down and be like, I have something to tell you,
I made out with a guy who had a beard at Akbar.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I don't care. And
do you remember his name? Not really. Okay.
Yeah, there's bigger problems in the universe.
Yeah.
Don't stress yourself out over shit like that. Wait, so what's new with you? Because you are like, I have always known you as like the reality show production queen of the universe.
Well, not really, but I like 2 years ago, well, actually longer than that, like 10 years ago, when I did all the social media content for Last Comic Standing season 9, I just love working in short form and in digital content.
Yeah.
And so
same.
For years, I've been trying to get in at promos at one of the networks or something, because it's more fun, and you can see the results, because people will talk about it in social media marketing. When you're creating content and scheduling it, you can actually see who's watching, how long they're watching. Like, that wall of the network telling you about ratings is gone.
I mean, honestly, I get too many analytics. There's things I don't want to know. Like, it'll tell me like exactly to the second when people click off, and if it's always the same, it's like, so I can never see that word again. Jesus, I lost everyone. Like I don't want to know analytics that close.
No, you do though, because then you can improve.
No, I know.
Yeah,
it hurts my feelings.
But it hurts my feelings too. It hurts my feelings too. But it's just, so I started working like a couple years ago. I was like, well, I didn't even know these jobs existed. And one of my friends, Caitlin, works at a digital ad agency. And so my friend Dana was like, you should talk to Caitlin. She works for an agency. And she's like, oh yeah, there's tons of jobs in this space. And then she helped me build a portfolio and a resume. And then I got a mentor, this girl named Sarah, who's brilliant. She runs Seals Socials. Mm-hmm. And I ended up started getting interviews and, got work. And I've just been, working in that space now for about 2 years now. But I just got tired of the grind of television.
Oh, it's such a hustle.
It's such a hustle.
And people are weird, and people are like, not selfish, but like secretive about shit.
Yeah.
No one wants to share because there's no jobs. So like, I get it.
Well, I mean, there are jobs. It's interesting because a lot of my friends actually are working right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
I guess reality is the only thing working right now, isn't it?
I think so. I mean, well, Erin Foley's writing on a show.
Really?
Yeah. She's writing on a show. She's the only person. Well, I mean, Liz Feldman was working through this whole thing because she created a show that's premiering on Netflix next week. So oh,
she's got another show.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, because the last one with Christina Applegate.
Yeah, Dead to Me. Was it Dead to Me?
I think so.
Yeah, it was so good. Oh my God, that show. I can't remember the title of the show, but I loved it.
Is it another mystery, murder mystery?
It feels
kind of thing?
like it. It feels like, not necessarily, it kind of feels like a murder mystery, but it feels even more female centric with mind games.
Yeah. Okay.
Like a.
What's it called? Do you know?
No, I don't remember. But the Linda Cardellini is in it.
Oh, I love her.
And
she was in the last one. Mm-hmm. So I love that people like to work with the same people.
Yeah, that means that they're fun.
Yeah,
and they're easy on set. You know. But yeah, so now I'm working in digital content, and I love it, and it's fun, and it's great, and I'm really grateful, and meeting a lot of new people, going to a lot of social media meetups around LA, and meeting even more people. Meeting people, I met 2 people. I met the girl who runs Aquarium of the Pacific's Instagram.
Fun.
She's amazing. And then I met one of the people from LA Public Library.
Oh, that's so cool.
If you guys, just for Todd's audience, you got to follow all the libraries. They make the best digital content.
It's really fun. I've seen them a lot on TikTok and stuff.
Yeah, Minneapolis has a great...
All the stuff in Seattle has its own page, and they're always
the Seattle
good.
stuff is great. Minneapolis has a really good... The Minneapolis library, so funny. It's just great. It's so it's interesting to watch.
There's one, I think it's like the North Dakota Fish and Wildlife or something. They are hilarious.
Oh, I have to follow.
Yeah, I think it's North Dakota. I have to double check. But yeah, there's like one really hot ranger. He's like... probably like 40. I think he has like a mustache, and he's just a very attractive park ranger. And like the Gen Z girls in the office were like, we have to cash in on your hotness. And he's kind of shy and funny, and so they're always kind of like following him around. But yeah, I'll look it up and see which one it is. But
did we put the audience to sleep yet?
No, not at all. This is what they come here for.
Oh, great.
This is what they want. All right? That's why you come to GFF and Friends.
It's just, I'm like, should I say something shady or scandalous? I really don't have anything shady to say.
This isn't a Big Brother podcast.
Oh, okay, good.
This is more like a Home Goods podcast.
Oh, perfect. It's like home. I love Home Goods.
Did you ever audition for Big Brother?
No, why would I?
I feel like, as a comic, I feel like they approached all of us at some point. Or like just working in reality, a casting director was like, hey, can you just come in and do this for me?
I think I have been asked by someone to audition for Big Brother. I've been asked to audition for a couple of those types of house shows, competition elimination shows. No way, because I've worked on them. I know what happens, you know?
Yeah. I think that's why I stopped getting asked to do them after I did Drag Race, because I know all the tricks and the bells and whistles, and it's kind of like it's the Wizard of Oz. Like, I know all the behind the scenes.
It's just stressful, and I think house shows especially, it's like you start to lose track of time and space. And no.
It's just not me. The very first one I ever auditioned for was Big Brother, and my friend Shannon was casting it, and she was like, we'll skip all the first rounds, like just come in directly. I was like, okay. And she was like, this was probably 2010. And she was like, just big personality, just be yourself. I love you. You're going to be funny. This is going to be great. And I had a really great interview and audition and everything. And I think I did really well, but I was like funny, clowny gay. And at the time, I don't know about now, but at the time they only wanted rancid gay. Yeah. And I was like, I don't watch Big Brother, so I don't know how to play the game. But B, I'm not backstabby. I'm not rancid. Like, I have a temper. I'll yell at people, but I'm not the kind of, nasty gay that they wanted. I'm just kooky clowny. So.
Well, Jeffrey Marks was on a show, a house show.
He was? I just saw him the other night. I love him.
I'm going to see him tonight. He was on a show. It only lasted one season. It was called The Glass House. On
never
ABC.
Heard of it.
And he kind of got famous because he yelled at this Mormon. There was a Mormon that lived in the house, and she was like shaming him for being gay, and he took it and he took it and he took it, and then one day he just exploded.
He like blew up on her. Wait, I think I know this story, but I didn't know it was him.
Yeah, it's him. I bet there's a clip on YouTube.
I bet. Yeah, I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Because, he's very doppelganger-y.
Yeah, and he loves to have, like, Survivor parties where everybody plays Survivor.
Yeah. He worked on We're Here, right?
Yeah, we worked on it. He brought me on to work on it with him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's worked in reality and stuff. Which, it's so not, I don't want to say it's easy to fall into, but you can definitely get addicted to production where it's like you can just keep booking the next show and
But the thing is you have a new job almost like every 12
That's
to 16 weeks.
That's what's so fucked up about it. And by the end of the last job, you're like, I don't ever want to see drag queens ever again. And then it's almost like graduating high school. You're like, we did it. We're done. And then you go to the next one. You're like, now I got to start all over with a new group of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard.
It's really hard. But it's just stressful to have, like, by the time you get your groove on the show you're working on, you're like, oh, we only have 3 weeks left. I need to add this show to my resume and start looking for a job. Yeah. So you're looking for a job every 2 months, every two and a half months.
Yeah.
And it's just exhausting.
And especially when you're at that level of like freelance and working around trying to get jobs, I don't think that's anyone's passion.
No.
Like, I'm a big believer in like, once you start hating something, stop doing it. But like, if it was never your passion to begin with, I mean, no one's like, I can't wait to work for 2 months or find a new job every 2 months. That's so exciting. Like, I don't think that's anyone's passion. It's just, it's so hard. And for lack of a better term, it's political. Like, you have to deal with people's bullshit, and there's no producers union, right?
No producers
for
union.
reality TV.
Well, that's what's interesting about what's happened with a lot of unscripted folks is, we had the city always goes on a virtual strike, no matter whatever union's about to go on strike. 2 months out, the network's like, we're on a virtual strike. We're not buying any pitches. We're not da-da-da-da. So you wrap out your shows and then nothing's happening. And when the Writers Guild strike hit and it kept going and going and going, and, the writers are acting like they're having a good time on the picket lines and they're holding up their $8 cappuccinos with their $400 bag. I just was like, this is not a good look.
Yeah.
And I told friends of mine that were in the WGA, I'm like, you guys, stop. And they go, no, but the union leadership wants the studios to know that this isn't going to get us down. I'm like, well, it's getting the entire city down.
Yeah.
So stop. Like, just act like you're hurting, because nobody's going to care, because you guys make a lot of money.
Well, it's kind of very apropos to what's happening now with the hurricane. So this episode will come out
after the hurricane destroys Florida.
Correct.
Fantastic.
And I recorded another episode earlier with Andrew Johnston. You know him? Comedian?
Love.
Yeah. So we were talking about the hurricane that's approached. So Hurricane Milton is approaching tomorrow. It's going to hit tomorrow. But like I said, this episode's coming out 2 weeks from now, so who knows what's going to happen. But my biggest thing is, like, people in Florida and people in other southern states and influencers and stuff being like, we're going to be fine. It's not even going to hit us. And I'm like, well, it is going to hit millions of people and kill a lot of people and destroy a lot of property. So maybe don't be like, well, we'll be fine. Like, we're not in the eye of the hurricane. It's fine. And it's like, a lot of other people are. Like, same with the strike. It's like, people can see that. It's not coming off the way you think it's coming off.
Not at all. The caterers, the people that rent out studio space, all of the support staff that makes those shows happen, they're screwed. Yeah. Well,
I was actually on Drag Race when Drag Race went union, except for us, the producers,
because we don't have a union.
The writers.
Right.
There is there is a writers union, but we weren't hired as writers, so there's no production. There's no producers union for what we did on reality shows. So the show went on a strike for 1 day, and then they signed the contract and paid them. But the lighting guys, the sound guys,
the crew always goes union.
They all got their union contracts. We were the only ones left behind that didn't get a union contract on that.
Well, I made a big stink. We had a meeting, a lot of unscripted people. We tried to unionize before the pandemic. I think it was 2018, and we had a big meeting at the WGA offices, and reps from IATSE were there. Those are the ones that rep the camera operators and editors and crew. And I've always thought we should have been repped by IATSE. So everybody, you could go up to the mic and say your piece. And like 3 or 4 people went up and said, I really appreciate the WGA, blah, blah, blah. I got up on the mic and I was like, I want IATSE. WGA screwed us over so many to IATSE. And then the IATSE reps looked at me and smiled. I was like, and then we did not go with the WGA, and our union efforts failed. Yeah,
I went on strike. When I went on strike with Fashion Police, same thing. Totally failed because they, at the end of the day, didn't need us. We were so replaceable, so easily replaceable.
Yeah.
They didn't need us. And that's why I'm very torn when it comes to unions in different industries. I'm very pro-union, but like... I have such struggles with the Writers Guild, what they put us through and what happened. To do all that, like lose our jobs, all this stuff, get I don't want to say blacklisted because I wasn't like a name, but get penciled in blacklisted in the industry. And then I was like, well, can I at least have a membership? I spent a year going on strike with you. I did all this stuff. I gave a speech for you. We lost our jobs. We didn't get a contract. It's all over. Can I at least be a member of the Writers Guild? And they're like, no, you have to get a job on a Writers Guild show. And I was like, then why did we do any of this?
Well, yeah, I actually, there was a strike in 2007, big WGA strike. That was the year my friend Todd and I wrote a half-hour workplace comedy called Daytime Justice because we both worked on court shows. And we got a deal at Fox 21, and we were pitching to networks, and this one network that was starting to do scripted was like, we love it. Let's wait and see how this Writers Guild strike thing pans out. Writers Guild went on strike, killed our deal. Me and my friend Todd are marching on the picket lines for the WGA, and we even went to some of the unscripted rallies where unscripted producers were trying to unionize. And then the strike was over, and then our deal was dead in the water, and it didn't come back to life. And I'm just like, it's interesting. It's interesting because this time around, friends of mine who were in the WGA were calling me and going, so Sharon, so you work in unscripted. What is it you do? What do I need to do to get into that industry? And I was like, well, do you know how to use an Avid? No. Okay. Have you ever directed a 3-camera shoot? No. Okay. And I'm like, you need to learn all these things.
Yeah.
And I gladly helped them. But I know that I have good friends that are writers, that are really good writers, WGA members, and they always will read my stuff for me.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of people in the WGA that want help from you and unscripted when they're hurting. But when they're doing well and unscripted isn't doing well, you're like, hey, will you read my spec? No. So it's kind of like we all kind of have to have each other's back. Will you just put this in someone's
hands? No.
The same thing happened to a friend of mine who runs an scripted show. She's in the Animation Guild. Mm-hmm. And all these WGA people were blowing up her phones. We went and had coffee and she's like, Sharon, they're all calling me. She goes, do you think that they would help me if we went on strike? I go, no, they would not. She goes, exactly.
Yeah.
There isn't a real sense of solidarity between different unions in this town. And I think everybody, I think the WGA and SAG would have gotten better deals had they struck at the same time. Mm-hmm. And the DGA working out a deal immediately was not helpful. So I don't know. I mean,
I just hate how crazy it is that just timing and place and time can affect the entire rest of your life. If it was a year later and there wasn't on a strike and these people were doing this thing, everyone would have read your script. It's just it all happened. It's like the pilot I wrote, Sasquatch, about the gay Bigfoot. It's like Harry and the Hendersons meets,
oh my gosh, I love it.
I don't know, like Mean Girls.
That's the only Bigfoot I would not be afraid of.
But so I wrote Sasquatch and I was all ready to start sending it out and stuff. And 2 agents and 1 studio person were like, oh, literally last month, Seth Green pitched a Bigfoot show everywhere and everyone said no. And I was like, well, I guarantee that my Bigfoot show is different, but I guess just hearing the word Bigfoot, they were all like, it's not going to happen. So don't even try again.
A friend of mine just shot a pilot about this guy that swears he's seen Bigfoot. She went to Oregon and shot with him for a week. I'm like, how you doing, Mary? She goes, I just shot something with a guy who's seen Bigfoot. I just started laughing. I was like, what did we do with our lives? Yeah. What did we do with our lives?
Oh, I just realized I said Mean Girls. I meant Broad City. It's Harry and the Hendersons meets Broad City. And I'm really proud of my script, but then it's so funny. It's not a favorite story, but a thing I always think about, I had a bunch of different people read it, right? And I was really let down when it was just pretty much dead in the water. But I did get really specific, very liberal notes about jokes, and I was like, I don't need that right now. There was just a joke where a gay guy called someone a bitch or something, and they're like, we're actually trying not to use the word bitch anymore because it's derogatory. And I'm like, all right, I don't need that note.
No, we don't need that note.
I just meant read it if you want to help me shop it around or anything. It's one of those things where it's kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back.
Well, they just didn't understand tone.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you have to, when you're reading a script, it's like, okay, I see what they're going for with this tone. This joke works.
Yeah.
But some people, I don't know. Listen, I still love the business that we call show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
It's an addiction.
It's an addiction. But the thing is I feel like this is a great time for us to really enjoy our freedom, having the ability to podcast, shoot it on your phone, edit it, put it on the internet.
Yeah.
And we can shoot our own content. We can even shoot our own sitcoms. YouTube, you can have your own channel on YouTube now. Mm-hmm. And the power is coming to the creators, which is good and bad because, you got the crazy right-wing nuts. I cannot tell you how many people were that are smart, that think the hurricane was created by the government.
Where does that even come from? How does that even...
From Miami. I'm going to tell you right now, the hurricane was created by Mother Nature. Okay, you guys, It's called climate change. When I saw An Inconvenient Truth in 2006, I cried after. I was so oh my God, humanity is toast if we don't deal with this right now. I got drunk. I went home. I went on Craigslist. I bought a bicycle. I picked it up Sunday morning, and then I started riding my bike to work. Yeah. And just for, I would ride from West Hollywood to the Fox lot, you guys. For context, that is very far. And there's a lot of traffic and everyone's on their phones and they're not paying attention.
Yeah.
So I took my life into my own hands every day. I don't have children. I don't have any skin in the game. I love animals. I don't want the animals to burn alive.
Yeah.
But Why is no one else worried? And now here we are, 10,
All this shit is happening.
like almost 20 years later. And
right. And I love how much credit that these people like to give the government, that the government is smart enough to do that. Meanwhile, it takes 7 hours to get through the DMV and every street is covered in potholes. And I'm like, you think the government's smart enough to create weather?
No.
And keep it a secret? That's how I feel about the moon landing. I'm like, someone did a scientific study and they were like, it would literally take 365,000 people to lie about the moon landing to keep that a secret if it was fake. It's like, it's just statistically impossible.
Yeah. The only thing that the government, and they didn't even do it, the only thing they've lied about in that realm of like, could they create these things, is that they actually have some Martians. They actually have some extraterrestrials.
Yeah,
that's the only thing. It's like, but they didn't create it. It came down, dropped, and they were like, oh God, what do we do? Lock him up. And now the guy's talking because he's dead. He left a book. He's like, here, son.
Yeah. Well, that's also like, I've seen a lot on TikTok. Apparently, like hospice nurses hear the most murder confessions of anyone on the planet.
I
because
believe it.
People are dying and their last words are like, I killed my husband in 1976. You're like, that's the time to do it. Honestly, if you are on your way out and you did something that is like a giant secret, don't you think it would feel like great to be like, I'm going to be dead in a week. I killed 8 people in the 70s. Like, just tell us. Let us know.
Let it out.
I hate when people take secrets to the grave. It's so frustrating.
Plus, it gives us a good episode for Unsolved Mysteries.
Exactly.
You solved it. Now we can go back. Well, which Unsolved Mystery episode was that where we couldn't figure out who killed so-and-so?
Yeah, because like we're probably never going to get the truth about Hoffa, because all those people naturally died. All those people are just dead. And we're also never going to get, who's the guy that robbed a plane and then parachuted out of the plane?
Oh my gosh.
JB or something?
Yes. We'll never find out what happened.
Because they all died of natural like they just aged out.
Yeah.
Same with like the Zodiac killer. It's just, it happened so long ago, they're all dead. No one could have said something. Just like one note that was like, it was me. Bye.
It was me. Night, night.
You could have answered so many questions. I just want to know.
We just want to know.
Yeah.
We don't want to find out because we don't know when we die. We don't know if we're going to find out. Is anybody going to show up when you die and go, hey, that guy that got killed, the guy who killed him sitting right over there.
Yeah.
Like, what happens? We don't know. We won't know until we die.
Well, did you see the thing about the rug in the lady's backyard on TikTok last week?
Of course I did.
We were all just so hungry for answers, and we all just want to like solve mysteries. That like that bitch found a rolled up rug buried 2 feet in her yard and made it national news, millions of followers. The FBI got involved, and then it was just a rug.
It's just a rug. Well, apparently,
everybody wanted it to be something.
Do you go on Reddit to research this stuff?
I'm afraid of Reddit. I stay away from Reddit.
I love Reddit. I will go. I go on. You should see what I follow on Reddit. It's embarrassing, but I did go to Reddit to find out about the rug. And apparently she's a huge Jonas Brothers super fan. And that
is the funniest sentence.
Yeah, and she tried to create some kind of Jonas Brothers super fan group. She's not a stalker, crazy, but she knows how to make content.
Okay, yeah.
That's the point. She
knows. Definitely was good in front of the camera.
Yeah, yeah. And I was riveted. I was like, oh my God, there's a god in that dead body.
Right.
Because the dog sat.
Both of them sat. And that was such a funny talking about making content. Such a 48-hour turnaround of a zeitgeisty moment that went from nothing to everything back to nothing.
Yeah.
Like it was just one weekend of everyone talking about this thing and then it just went away.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's the internet now. That's what we're doing.
Well, that's like the woman. I watched every episode of the black woman who was like,
oh, Who the Fuck Did I Marry?
Who the Fuck Did I Marry? I watched every episode. I would be doing dishes. I'd set the phone up and listen. I'd be like, oh, no, he did not. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It was a TV show. And
it was so good.
She had such a gift of speech and storytelling. No ums, no uhs, no pauses. Everything flowed, called back. I was like, she is writing a novel in real time.
Yeah. But you know what's crazy? And I know this happens in the gay world too. It's just humanity, people, but especially with men. Okay, you have a choice. You got some free time. Do you want to solve crime? Be a superhero? Volunteer? No, you're going to go fuck other people. Like you're going to live double lives and to be a piece of shit. Like I don't understand that. I've dated 2 guys that were living double lives, and it's like, where did they have the energy? Because they spent so much time with me, but they were still like, it's just, I'd be exhausted.
And I think that kind of proves evolution that we literally just came from animals.
Yeah.
Because, at the end of the day, we're just fucking animals.
I'm not. I do good things. Like if I have free time, I'm going to do something worthwhile.
Right?
You know?
Yeah. It's like the black and white cookie.
Yeah.
You're doing good things. You're the good side of the cookie.
I'm the good side of the cookie. I just, I'm going to do good things. I'm going to volunteer. I'm going to go see some art. I'm going to get some friends together and let's go have dinner. Let's go to the Broad. Let's go see a movie.
Yeah.
Let's go see a drag show.
Also, and you don't need a return.
No.
You're not looking to get anything back from it.
No.
Which is such another annoying problem of this industry is like, well, what can you do for me if I do this for you? You know?
It's not transactional.
No. And well, that shows that you're a good person because it's not transactional.
Thank you.
Sharon Houston, you're a good person.
So are you, Todd.
Thanks. But another thing about content and this, goes to me because I have OCD and obsessive thoughts, but I'm also a very jealous person, just ingrained in my bones. Jealousy just runs throughout my body, and I've tried to suppress it for years, and then I kind of just leaned into it, and I was like, just let it happen. Let it flow through my body. Let me think about the jealousy. Let me say the words, and then let me just let it go, because I know it does nothing. Jealousy does nothing, but it is genetically in my body. I'm just a very jealous person. And it's funny because someone recently, so like I've never been in SAG. Every commercial, everything I've ever done has been non-union. And, but so I saw this guy that I know in a non-union commercial because it was like a YouTube. I know that it wasn't SAG.
Some of them are SAG.
Well, I know, but I know he's not SAG. And so I was like, he probably made $1,500 from filming that. And because like that's what I made when I did my Amazon commercials.
$1,500. I thought you said 15,000 and I was like,
No.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 1,500.
When I was in
between that and $5,000, about that.
Yeah.
Depending on the client.
Exactly. And but because he and I've had brand deals that I've made way more money than that. But because he was like cast and hired and filmed something on a set, I'm jealous. And I'm like, I've gotten brand deals where I've made more money that more people have seen, and here I am jealous of a guy because he booked something.
Yeah, but what was the product?
His was for YouTube.
Oh, it was for YouTube. YouTube was the client.
Yeah, YouTube.
He's like, if YouTube does this.
Yeah.
Oh.
YouTube Red or Shorts or whatever. I don't even know what it's called.
That's the thing, Todd. You get stuff that I want to eat and try, put on my face.
I get a lot of product.
I mean, but when you get a brand, it's like something that I would actually use. Like I've discovered brands through you.
Oh, wow. Great.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And like, that's the goal. It's like organic, but, yeah, still here I am because somebody auditioned for a commercial in Hollywood and booked it and got paid $1,500. I'm like, that should have been me.
Yeah, no, I don't get jealous of that at all. I'm like, oh God, they had to go to Santa Monica and wait in one of those offices for hours and then fight traffic back to just literally say that the bread, just make a face. You like the bread, but you don't like it too much. Subtle. And then you watch the commercial and the person's expressions are huge. Like,
I mean, even before the pandemic, I have always been very pro self-tape. I do not think there is a reason to have an initial audition in person. Ever.
No, not at all.
Ever. Especially in this day and age. It can be one quick phone video to be like, okay, and then just go straight to callback. That's the if you want to meet me in person, cool. We'll do it at callbacks. Not the initial audition with 50 or 75 other people.
I mean, it is, for the audience, the waiting rooms are chaos because there's like 5 or 6 spots casting. Most certainly one of them requires a child.
I would say children.
So you have all the children and the mama roses, and they're it sounds like, chickens in a hen house. Mm-hmm. Oh, I saw you at the other audition.
Yep.
It's craziness. And then you have to focus so you can talk about hamburgers.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole thing, or you have to talk about Glass Plus or, Lysol.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what's funny. I would go out for a lot of Latina parts and I would tell them, like, I'm Cuban, but I'm not the type of Latino. They're going to look at me and go, what are you doing here? But even though they saw my picture and called me in from it.
I'm not a rancid gay.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you're not the kind of gay we want.
Right.
Yeah.
But they don't know till they see you in person. They're like, oh. But in the waiting rooms, you'd hear the women talking about their, oh, my sister just got into an Ivy League school, and, just normal like us.
Yeah.
And then they get called in to go, ay, Dios mío, I have gas. Ay, pobrecita. And they really put it on.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was so Hollywood shuffle. It made me uncomfortable, but I never did that in auditions because I'm like, that's not me.
Yeah.
I'm not
really
going to go, ay, ay, ay.
Yeah. And yeah, that's how I am too. Like, even if I would get called in something scripted where they're, they would use words like hairdresser, assistant, like stuff to be like, big F word.
Yeah. For Latinas, they say be spicy. Can you be more spicy? Can you have a little more attitude? Sassy attitude.
It's like, can you just be racist and tell me what you want me to do?
That's what I did. I was like, you want me to just be more Latina, more Cuban? You want me to, And then the girl goes, yes. Like I let her off the hook.
Yeah. You just say you want me to say papi chulo.
I know I should have worn chanclas. I'm like, I should have worn chanclas and booty shorts.
Lip liner only.
Yeah. I did do that once for an audition because the breakdown literally said Sofia Vergara type. And I was playing a security guard on a lot. So I put on my police uniform, which you have to have these things when you audition for commercials. You gotta have a chef coat, you gotta have a nurse, you gotta have all the things. Blue polo, you gotta have I'm an office worker, young mom, which is khakis and a button down. It's a whole thing. Yeah. So I show up and I put press on nails on. I did my lip liner darker than my lip gloss, and I did a side pony, and I was like, what do you want? And they go, oh, you're too Sofia Vergara. And I was like, okay, I can't win. I'm done.
Can't win.
Yeah.
The first year I was auditioning for commercials, I refused to play the costume game because I thought it was hokey and stupid. And then,
but they're the ones that book.
So finally, I bought a Viking costume. I had a pirate costume. I had scrubs.
Did you buy a pair of lederhosen?
No, I never had lederhosen.
Okay.
But I did have tights. For the Viking costume had tights part of it, and I think I had a kilt and. Definitely had a security guard shirt.
Did you have a construction? Because I would think you get called in for construction.
I had a lot of plaid, and I bought a tool belt. I was like, you know what? I got to invest. Plus, I was very close to having a character headshot photo shoot done where I did, contractor, pirate, doctor, Best Buy employee. Because that was a big thing too, is to have a headshot for every job. And I was like, looking back, maybe I should have invested the time and the money into doing it, but I was just so cringy and embarrassed by it. I was like, that's not me.
Yeah, but the thing is the only way that would work out for you is if you had a Stephanie Courtney situation. Yeah. You would have to be Flo.
Yeah, exactly. And that slightly ruined her life because she is Flo forever. I mean, she's very rich.
She's very rich, but she still works outside of doing commercials.
Not like she used to, though. Well, when Flo started, she was like on Mad Men, and she was on United States of Terra, and she was on something else. That all dried up when she was Flo. I talked to her at the Groundlings about it. She was like, "Yeah, they don't want Flo."
Oh, I thought that she was on Curb after doing Flo.
Well, yeah, because that's like a Groundling show.
Oh,
she's a Groundling.
Yeah.
But I feel like she had like a kind of a upward trajectory of drama and stuff working, and then she got Flo. But now millions of dollars, very famous, very recognizable, is a name,
acts
is a
like
character.
A normal person still.
Yeah. Directs half of those commercials now, so she's making money twice. And
she's so great.
Yeah, she's a great person. So yeah, it does pay off, but then you kind of have to settle into being like, oh, this is the rest of my life.
Yeah. Which I would totally be down. I would
at this point, I'll take it.
I would wear diapers on the CW, which doesn't even exist anymore. Like whatever. I'll headline a show on Tubi. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I would do that and then put the BTS stuff behind me until they let me start directing the Tubi trash that I'm producing, whatever that I'm on. I don't know. It's just as long as you get to keep being creative, it scratches that itch, and I'm happy.
Yeah. Well, and again, at 44, I'm ready to just take whatever.
Yeah.
Happily.
But I would have taken whatever at 25. Seriously. But I just kept I went in for a lot of the wrong. I mean, I booked some good stuff. I've done some good work, but it was hard. It was hard for me to find my lane because everyone saw me differently than I saw myself.
Yeah.
So, and now I'm able to just be myself. Yeah. And it's great.
I will, it's funny. I think I definitely got in my own way a lot when it comes to auditioning and career and stuff like that, because when I was 28, 29, I remember telling my agent at the time, I was like, don't ever send me out for a fat guy in a diaper. I'm not doing fat guy in a diaper. And because it was a thing.
I would not do fat guy in a diaper either.
Fat guy in his underwear.
That was a good call.
But those were jobs. I much like I have jealousy, I have internal cringe, and I'm like, I would have cringed too hard. But now looking back, I'm like, that would have been a good gig if I booked it, because he did send me fat guy in a diaper a couple times, and I'm like, I'm not going.
Yeah, but what if he wanted to run for office?
I kind of did. I kind of thought about my future, but then the pandemic hit, and I started Gay Fat Friend, and then I was fat guy in his underwear on the internet. So
right.
It all leads back to fat guy in his underwear.
It really does, but it's a different world now. Now it's like we embrace it.
Yeah, exactly.
We embrace it. That's why I love the body. Even though I tell people I'm body negative, I am body negative for myself. Yeah. But like for other, I love seeing girls. I love seeing women and men be body positive. I love it. I love it. I wish I didn't have, I don't have low self-worth. I do like being smaller because it's easier to buy clothes. And that's really it. Yeah. It's like, it's about me being able to buy cheap clothes, clothes on sale, because the teeny tiny clothes are always on sale, and vitality, so as I age, I'll still be able to do high kicks and the splits and all that shit. And that's it. It's not about physical. It's not about how I look.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Mine is now, what can I buy off the rack as a giant man? And what's comfortable. And that's why I bought all my clothes at the farm store. I'm just wearing Carhartts now.
Carhartts are great and they last forever.
Yeah. And luckily, the Instagram boys made Carhartt fashionable. So I'm like, I'll wear a $23 t-shirt.
When was Carhartt not fashionable?
Well, it was working man. It was farmer boy,
but that's hot.
Right? Well, the Instagram, like the West Hollywood Instagram MoMA guys, or LACMA guys, that just post all the fashiony pictures from the Streetlights exhibit at LACMA. They all made Carhartt fashionable, and I'm like, I'm here for it. You know that big rock you walk under at LACMA? Levitated mass. Do you know I followed that rock? I got driving on my bicycle. I remember when they brought it into town. It took 6 hours. I left my apartment. I texted my friend Buzz. I was like, Buzz, it's moving. It's in LA proper. It's moving. Meet me at USC. So we both ride our bikes to USC, and then Buzz dropped off. He's like, it's too late. I got to go home. I'm like, okay, bye. I'm following all the way to LACMA. And it moved so slowly because they had to remove all the street lights to let it pass and then put them back on, right? So it's rolling through. I followed it from USC all the way to LACMA. We started at like 10 o'clock at night when it got to USC. It landed at LACMA at 3 a.m. Yep. And people were handing out Rolling Rock beer just on the side of the street. It was like so joyous. There are, go ahead. Oh, no, I was just going to say once it got to LACMA, I started crying. Yeah, there are two great migrations in LA history while I lived here that I love. One was Levitated Mass. I loved that whole experience. Loved. It was very just like energetic. And the other one was the space shuttle. Remember when they decommissioned the space shuttle and donated it to the museum, the Science Museum downtown? Yep. But it had to land at LAX, and then they had to parade it through the city. It was amazing. But they also had to take down street lamps and shit. And that was like a 2-day thing. And I was like, just what a time to be in LA, and what a time to be alive. I know. What a time to be alive. But yeah, Levitated Mass is one of my favorite exhibits. I usually go every time we're here, just walk under it and just experience it because it's so massive. Well, that's why I love living downtown, because they have free museum Thursday nights. Broad days and stuff. Yeah, Broad days. So I always go and check out. I still have never been to the Broad because the line, it's so hard to get in, isn't it? Just buy tickets, you get in. I've never waited. Oh, you can buy a ticket? Yes. I thought it was literally a first come, first serve basis. No, I buy tickets to go to the Broad because I saw that big exhibit that Beyonce commissioned. Curated? Curated. It was all black African American art. It was so powerful. Yeah, I saw a lot of the pictures. Yeah, I want to go to the Broad because there's a George, what's his last name? George. He was with Andy Warhol, part of that whole scene. And George, gosh, what's his last name? It starts with a P. I think I know what you're talking about. I think I heard about that. Yeah, so I want to see that because it's there. But it's going to be there for a minute, so I don't have to hurry. But that's the next thing I want to go see. Yeah, is this boring to the people? No. We're talking about art. We're talking about art. That's what people love. All right. Well, and speaking of, I think, I love the crop. It's great. Well, you know what this is? This is my favorite Instagram cat rescuer, Heidi. Oh, cute. Heidi wrangles cats. I love that. So I bought her t-shirts. I have 2. Did you crop it? Yeah, I had to cut it because it's going to be down to here. It's a small. It's going to be down to here. Yeah. But no, what I was going to say is this is the perfect time to move on to our final segment. Oh, let's do it. We made it. We made it. What's your order? What's your order? Here, I love this segment, by the way. Soup takeout container. We have America's favorite fast food restaurants, and I've been telling people on the pod for the past couple of weeks because it's usually me and Rob. We started over. We put all the fast food back in because Rob and I went through. Everything in Seattle. Now we're on to like cake, steaks, potato, Christmas morning. So now I put all the fast food back in. So without further ado, please. Gosh, I hardly ever eat fast food. Today's what's your order? Okay, today is. Okay, there we go. Drum roll.
Oh my gosh!
What'd you get?
It's Domino's.
Domino's, a pizza, a fast food pizza staple.
Well,
in my house, in my
I
life.
love a cheap pizza.
Love a cheap pizza, and they're so good.
Ooh,
the inventors of the tracker. I love a pizza you can track on your phone.
Yeah, I don't know how they figured out that technology. It is?
Well, I heard that it's
no, that's
it's timed, so it checks itself off. It's not actually like they're not actually like scanning something at a station.
Oh, gotcha.
They press start and start making your pizza, and every single time it's that long, so the bar just goes to like, well, at this time it should be here. This time it should be here. It's apparently the same every time, but who cares? I love the illusion of a pizza tracker. It's such a genius invention.
Sides.
Like they have like pastas and shit now. Yeah, and salads. I love their salads. But so my Domino's order is pretty much the same as Pizza Hut, but it's a pan pizza, so I like the thicker crust. Sausage, mushroom, extra cheese. That's my pizza.
Oh wow!
And then I always get hot wings with the bone. I love a bone-in wing.
I will not eat a boneless wing.
Right? It's
it doesn't
just a
make
nugget.
sense.
That's just a nugget.
It's a nugget.
But Domino's has really good, very processed, very just tender, clearly have been treated with some kind of sodium acid. They're just very delicious little savory bombs of probably pure chemical, but meat falls off the bone. They're savory. The flavor's good. They're crispy. I love their hot sauce because it's not like crazy hot. It's a good buffalo. They have really good ranch. So yeah, I love a good Domino's pan pizza with buffalo rings and Domino's ranch. Oh, and delivered. It has to be delivered.
It has to be delivered. It's not. You don't go pick it up. You pick up Papa John's. Domino's, you get delivered. That's how it goes. Those are the rules.
Them's rules. Kids, especially, I think they were the first ones to do it with a phone app. Literally, just press a button on your phone and it's here.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, how they've stayed in business. They started in Detroit,
Domino's did? Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
And because they're still around. They still get your pizza.
They're everywhere.
I hope they pay their people a lot of money.
I hope they do too. I know people tip. They are one of those that there's like a $4 delivery fee and they say does not go to driver. And I'm like, well, then what's it for, bitch?
Then what's it for?
Yeah. Processing, maintaining the app. But yeah, I love that how their Domino's was like one of the first pizza chains that was always trying to reinvent themselves. Remember, they changed their sauce and then they changed their delivery style and then they did all this stuff. Their thing now is that you have one free emergency pizza. I don't know if it's per month or just per app download.
What does that mean, emergency pizza?
You just get one free pizza. If you download the app and like join their club or whatever, you just get an unexpiring coupon for one free pizza whenever you need it. It's called your free emergency pizza.
That's hilarious.
Right?
Emergency pizza.
Yeah. And so if you join Domino's app, you get one free emergency pizza. But they're always doing like shticky stuff like that, but it's funny.
It's funny. You have to be funny. Have you seen the Nutter Butter TikToks?
No, I haven't seen any of them, but I've heard people talk about how wild they are, and I've been afraid to check them out.
You got to check them out. It's like watching it. It's like Tim and Eric.
Yeah.
But it's Nutter Butter. It's bizarre.
I think the word is called like weirdvertising. There's like a new word for it because like Wendy's kind of does it on Twitter and Threads. Duolingo is a weirdvertiser. Like they have their mascot do weird things. It's this new trend.
Well, it's genius because it's noisy and it gets people's attention.
Yeah. And it makes people talk.
Yeah, like I haven't thought about Nutter Butters in years. And now I'm like, have you seen the Nutter Butter TikTok?
We were at Nutter Butter house. My mom never got Oreos. We got Nutter Butters.
We got Nutter Butters too. Growing up, I ate more Nutter Butters. I never ate Oreos unless it was at somebody else's house.
My mom also has 1 million cookie jars, so I guarantee there's a cookie jar somewhere with Nutter Butters from the 90s.
We need a documentary about your mom.
Yes.
The jars, the jackets, the bags. I mean, it's like the reversible jackets.
She's a collector.
What? Really?
Of things, yes.
But it's like officially, did she go, oh, they're having a quilted jacket festival at downtown St. Louis. We got to go. I need another quilted jacket.
Not so much that. It kind of turned into a thing where like she had 5 quilted jackets and then it became like, you know who likes quilted jackets? Susie. Let's get her one for Christmas. And then people started, it's kind of how people
So they were gifted.
Yes. Same with the bags. Like my sister-in-laws both, I have 2 sister-in-laws, both know that my mom loves a Vera Bradley bag. So then every Christmas, after 15 years, that's 30 bags.
Isn't that something college girls used to do? Vera Bradley, they would want to bring Vera Bradley bags, like luggage and stuff to the dorm.
I think it started that. Yeah, that's how it started. But she started in the 90s, so.
Yeah, I feel like it was hot in the dorms in like 2006, 2007.
It's back now.
It's back?
Like, oh, yeah. If you look at the comments on my mom jacket and my mom bag videos, everybody's like, those bags are so hot right now. Like, you can buy them on eBay. They're so expensive. Everybody wants them. It's all the rage. Like,
we need to know what is the trauma or the joy that's attached to the cookie jars, the jackets, and the bags. Because I'm telling you right now, it's more than just family members buying her that shit.
That is just the tip of the iceberg of Susie's collections. When she gets into something, she collects it, and it's genetic. I get it. I very easily could do the same thing.
Yeah, but you guys collect cool stuff.
Yeah, but I got into fragrance the past couple of years, and
did you get a scent bird?
I almost joined Scentbird.
I joined Scentbird,
but I'm really into just like, I don't care how much it costs, so I'm not going to buy Tom Ford. I don't mind buying stuff from Target and Walmart and stuff. Like, I don't mind cheap body sprays. Bath and Body Works, I got a ton of those because like sometimes I just want to spray it and smell it.
Can I give a secret to your audience?
What?
I've got a hot tip. This is for the ladies, but might work for the men. So my friend Sabrina Cagnata, who is a riot.
Yeah, I know Sabrina.
You know Sabrina?
Yeah.
Okay, Sabrina gave me this hot tip that she got from a stripper in the Midwest. She goes, Sharon, no one knows fragrances like strippers from the Midwest.
I was going to say.
I was like, okay, lay it on me. She goes, you go to Bath and Body Works. You get At the Beach mixed with Night of the something. It's black and it has sparkles on it.
Oh yeah, Into the Night.
Thank you. Into the Night by the beach at the sea. The blue one.
Into Night is very luxurious. It smells like fancy rich lady.
It does smell like fancy rich lady, but you mix it with smells of the beach. I do the body wash, then I do both body sprays.
Signature scent.
It's not even, no, it's a stripper signature scent, but she goes, wear that when you go out on a date, watch him just lose his mind.
It's glamorous, yeah.
Nobody said anything. They just go, you smell good. It's not any different than when I wear Burberry Her, which is my favorite.
Yeah.
Or I got one of those imposter fragrances of Baccarat, 5,000, whatever it is. And that's the one that everybody goes, oh my gosh, you smell so good. Women and men, you smell so good. But that's what I wear. But like I tried that thing but she says that's a hot tip. So ladies, if you're watching, try it.
And I mix fragrance. I'm wearing two right now. Yeah, I always mix.
What are you wearing?
I'm wearing Day at the Beach by Pacifica because they send it to me, and but I love it. It's very
Pacifica has good
Palo
fragrances.
Santo.
Oh, I love Palo Santo.
And then I'm wearing a Target one because they're not Fleur, but
I love Fleur.
Fleur is great, but Target's. Oh God, I can't think of the Target brand. Anyway, it's a really great perfumes. This is called Before the Rainbow.
I know what you're talking about. I have the bed sheet sprays.
Yeah.
They have 3 different. I have the Palo Santo one.
Yeah.
It's like a lemon, lime, pear, peach. I don't know what it is. It just smells fresh.
Yeah,
and I have the lavender one.
Before the Rainbow, so it's a water scent, and I mix them, and it's just so fresh, and it's very like LA. I'm wearing it right now a lot down here because it's very like heat wave LA beachy.
Yeah.
And yeah, what
do you wear from Seattle?
So I really do love Tom Ford fragrances, but they're $300 a bottle.
You gotta get the knockoffs. I've got a great knockoff. I think I can send you.
So I have 2 of the travel sizes of the ones I want. Like one's called Fucking Fabulous, and the other one is called Bitter Peach. Apparently Beyonce wears Bitter Peach, but they're my favorite. And then I also have a travel size that I got in like a gift bag bottle of Replica Margiela.
Oh, Replica, yeah.
By the fireplace or by the fireside, which literally smells like an ashtray, but I layer it with other things, so it just kind of smells like I just smoked a cigarette. I don't know. It's very weird, but I love it. It's like vanilla in cigarettes, but I put it just because I just have the little dabber. I just put it on my wrists, and then I wear my other fragrances with it, and it just kind of elevates it in a weird way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of a tobacco-y scent.
It literally has ash in it. Like it smells like a fireplace. It smells like a burnt fireplace.
Oh, I like the smell of burnt
weird.
fireplace versus ashtray.
Yeah. No, it's
burning
fireplace.
wood. I love that smell. Yeah, I don't like wood
fireplace
burning.
ash, not cigarette ash.
Oh wow.
But yeah, Bath and Body Works just came out with a designer knockoff.
They did?
Whole line. There's like 12 of them.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't get the email. I'm in the club.
Yeah, me too. Then I keep getting coupons from them where it'll be like 25% off your entire order or something. And I'm like,
no, you get a better deal if you shop online than if you go into the store.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I get more.
I can't blind buy when it comes to scents. I'm afraid.
I'm not. Well, if I know what I'm buying.
But also, they come out to be like $5 a piece. So I'm like, I could throw it away if I hate it.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, oh my God, I didn't know they came out. I've got to check that out.
Yeah, I think they did like 12 different scents. I got like 6 of them because they're full on. And I don't know if they're actually like claiming the designer they're duping, but it's very easy to find out. Because yeah, they did a Baccarat. They did a Baccarat knockoff. They did a rose. Oh God. It's that like pink bottle with like frills on it. It looks very like old timey girly, but it's really expensive.
It's a Gucci fragrance, I think.
They did a Gucci knockoff. They did a Valentino knockoff. Like you can find out which ones they're knocking off, and it kind of says it in the name. You know, like
I'm gonna go on the app and find out what the hell's going on. Smells like inspired by.
It's just called New Rouge, and it's like okay,
it's Baccarat Rouge.
Le Labo. There's a Le Labo knockoff.
Oh, so that's what
Santal
I want because that shit is expensive.
Yeah, and I got that one. It's good because it's super Santal forward. But wait, you never said what you eat from Domino's.
Oh, I'm going to gross everyone out, but I don't care. Pineapple pizza.
I love pineapple on pizza.
It's salty,
with
sweet,
ham, right?
savory.
Like you're not just doing pineapple?
I just do pineapple.
No shade. I think pineapple is a pizza topping.
It is delicious.
I also don't. I like to tell people don't deny yourself joy just because of preconceived notions. Like things can be delicious. It doesn't matter how they got too delicious.
Yeah,
they are delicious.
Yeah,
just let it happen.
And if you don't like it, don't eat it.
Yeah, I hate when people are like, pineapple's not a pizza topping. Never in my life. And I'm like, but it's delicious. Why are you denying yourself joy?
Just like the chicken barbecue pineapple pizza California Pizza
CPK,
Kitchen.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah, don't deny yourself joy because of like I recently on TikTok just did a big crumble taste test because I'd never had crumble cookies.
Oh, you know what? I saw that and I have something to say about that.
Well, so people in my comments were like, "Those aren't real cookies," blah blah blah. And I was like, "Well,
I heard they're delicious.
They were fucking amazing. 10 out of 10. I'm literally giving crumble a 10 out of 10, and they were delicious. And I'm literally in a video eating them and saying how much I love them and stuff like that. And people in the comments are like, "Those aren't real cookies. You want real cookies? You got to go to this mom and pop bakery in the middle of nowhere." And I'm like, "Okay, well, it's not a contest, and all cookies are valid.
Yeah.
And these cookies are fucking delicious. Why are you so weird that you have to have this, like, not even machismo, but it's just this thing of like, I'm not going to eat that because that's not what I define a cookie as." Okay, great. Bye.
Well, that's because everybody has to have their opinion. Like, if even it's like, because I call these people in the comments, even though they're literally in your comments.
Yeah.
But even in real life, when you go, "Oh, I went to this fabulous sushi place. It's on, it's on Sunset." I'll go, "Nope. Let me tell you where you get the best sushi."
Yeah.
Like, hey, why don't you shut the fuck up?
I'm literally telling you how much I like this thing.
Yeah, I'm just saying I like it. I'm not telling you to go there. Go fuck yourself. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care. I very rarely, when people ask me for a recommendation, very rarely do I give it because they'll go, "Oh, you asked me for a recommendation and now you're going to poo-poo it. Why'd you ask?"
Why'd you ask? Yeah. But crumble was delicious.
I'm going to seem like a bitch.
Also, I am still, like, I literally just found out when I went into Crumble last week here in Glendale that they changed their entire selection every Monday. And I'm like, well, that is the weirdest business model because, if people are obsessed with their chocolate chip cookie, you can't get it every week and you don't know when it's coming. So you just got to check back every Monday. Maybe that's part of the hunt.
Well, that's what Scoops
Crumble
is like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at Scoops, there's only one flavor that's always there. It's called brown bread. I go in there once a week. So I'm like, "What do you got this week?" And
Yeah.
they always have like these crazy flavors, and they never repeat. You don't know when you're going to have it again. So
that's so crazy.
But that's what keeps people coming back.
Because like Salt and Straw does that, but it's like seasonal. So they only change like 4 times a year. So you can go back and get what you want a couple times.
Right.
But it's just so funny. That's like, I had the best cookie ever. Won't get it again for 6 weeks. But it's just so weird.
Yeah.
And it's successful. They work. They're very busy.
It's just not good for people. I mean, it is good for everyone because you get to try different things. But like, I'm a creature of habit. I'm very
Same.
predictable. And if I go back and there's not a chocolate chip cookie, I'm like, what the hell? That's why I get frustrated when I go to dispensaries because I want a specific edible and then it's not there. And
Yeah.
I'm like, can this place be like Ralph's? I want to know that on aisle 4, there's always going to be Clorox cleanups.
Yeah.
But I want it to be an edible. Like but you can't. They switch it up, and it's very frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if I could go back in time situation, I would try to somehow get in on the weed industry.
No.
Legalization stuff.
No, you wouldn't, because there's too much legal stuff, and because it's not federally legal, so the money has to be
money is still
passed.
fucked,
It's
yeah.
a nightmare. Many weed stores go under because it's a nightmare. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. But there's still such a demand that they can't keep up with product. You know what I would do?
True.
I would farm it. I wouldn't open a store. I would be a producer.
Did you watch that documentary about the weed farmers in California?
No, is it bad? Are they bad?
It is a nightmare. These people are horrifying, and they will kill you for your crop.
Is it still like Cartelli?
Like if there's a redneck version.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Redneck Cartel.
Redneck Cartel, but it's more like Hatfields and McCoys.
Gotcha.
It feels very Appalachian. It feels very West Virginia.
It's almost like I always make the joke that like if there's something you love, someone on the internet will hate it. I feel like if there's an industry that makes money, there is someone fighting over it. Like there is a bee cartel. People steal people's honeybees and traffic honeybees and steal beehives. And like people have to have like armed security because they still hire beehives in like Bakersfield to pollinate the almonds and stuff. And, people steal beehives. People exterminate rivals' beehives. Like I forget what documentary it was, but it was like a documentary about honey, about just like how people traffic in honey. There's fake honey. There's counterfeit honey. They steal their bees. They kill their bees. They traffic bees. I'm like, if there's an industry that can make money, people will make it illegal.
Did you hear about the bananas?
No.
Okay, so everybody needs to Google Chiquita bananas. The sale of those bananas funds political unrest in Central America. It sounds crazy.
I think I did hear about that.
They were sued and they lost a bunch of money from families that were murdered.
Yeah.
Banana cartels. You can't eat a banana without having blood on your hands.
Exactly.
Do you know why? Men.
Exactly.
Straight
men and greed.
Yeah, men and greed.
Men and greed.
Women wouldn't do that.
Everything.
They'd be like, "Oh, you want some money from our bananas? Of course.
Yeah.
We'll start a foundation."
Well, and they're like, women will start an illegal cartel to help their children. Like they're like, I just wanted to feed my kids.
Yeah. That's true. I do know somebody.
Men are like, I wanted a third Rolls Royce.
Right. That's true. Women do things. When they kill a man, I'm like, oh, what did he do? Whereas when a man kills a woman, I'm like, why did you do that, sir?
Yeah.
Like it was for no reason. But women always have a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Not always, but I would say 80% of the time, maybe.
Well, it's funny. Andrew and I were talking on this episode about how like we just don't have like gay bad guys. Like, we don't have gay serial killers and stuff anymore. We haven't had one in a while.
A very long time.
I feel like what was the last woman serial killer? Monster?
Yeah.
Aileen Wuornos?
Aileen Wuornos was the last one.
And like at least like gay men are still men, so you think there'd be more crazies, but
you know why I think there's not? Because everyone can be out now. So if they choose to be out,
yes.
you can live your truth. So you're not holding in all that pent up. Like I want to make love to a man. I'm just going to kill a bunch of people instead.
Yeah.
Because I'm mad at society and I'm mad at whatever. I don't know. I'm just going to tell you, I'm very scared. I walk in my fear every day. I'm scared. I'm going to be scared for the next 30 days.
This episode is coming out like a week before the election. So.
Yeah. Oh, I've been looking at flights to Barcelona because I'm like, why don't I go to Spain? Because it's cheap to fly to Europe right now.
Yeah.
And I got my passport renewed. I got my passport renewed. I got my passport renewed because I was scared that Trump was going to be reelected. I'm like, I'm going to have to flee.
Yeah.
And because this Project 2025 is no joke. So I was looking at flights and I'm like, I could go to hang out with my friends John and Chris and see Jez for a few days during the election, then come back. I don't know.
Well, I think it's going to be like last time, like we're not going to know for 2 weeks. So it's going to be the longest 2 weeks of our life.
Oh, correct.
And then I am equally as scared, although I'm resting in my hope that it's just going to be like the last election and the polls were all very wrong. And I'm really hoping for like a legit blue wave of change. And I'm also hoping that they just pulled the wrong people. Like, I don't know why, but I just refuse to believe that it's 50-50 right now.
Well, everyone says don't listen to the polls.
I never do.
Like that
I hate polls.
Same.
I never listen to polls.
Same. But I think we're going to have a second insurrection. That's my fear.
But he doesn't have control of the government. So I think they're going to do a better job of blocking all that shit off. Like he's not going to have the ability to even give a speech on the steps of the Capitol, Right,
because he has to get permits and all that stuff if he does it now. I mean, he had to get permits for the last one.
And they won't let him do that. Also, his sentencing is 2 weeks after the election. They finally bumped it again,
Yeah.
But it's his official sentencing, and I think they did that because they wanted to wait till after the election. He's going to jail. He's
praying,
or at least house arrest. Like something's happening. So,
but he won't stay home if it's house arrest, and nobody ever holds him accountable for the Logan Act, for rape, for everything. Yeah. And it's very frustrating.
I think it's all coming. I think it's all going to happen. I think we're going to be okay. I'm holding out hope. I think it's going to be. I think they just because like a lot of these poll places, call people's landlines. You know, who has landlines? So yeah, I'm hoping that the polls are just way off. I don't want to think that we live in a country where half of the population is that bad, but we shall see. I am also very nervous and scared.
Yeah.
And I really hope it's not like a Prop 8 situation, because, you know, Prop 8 died the night Obama got elected the first time. So it was a very joyous, happy thing, but then we got denied the right to marry. And I'm just nervous that, like, we take back the House, we keep the Senate, we just fucking blue wave everywhere except Kamala loses. This is gonna break my heart, but at least that will jam him up and he won't be able to do anything, but still.
No, he will. He'll find a way to do executive orders. It'll be very bad. It'll be very, very bad.
I'm like, did people forget 2016 to 2020?
Did they forget that millions of people died from COVID?
We could talk about this for hours.
Yeah, no, we won't talk about that.
Fingers crossed. Everything's going to be okay.
Yes.
We're going to make it through. It's going to be good.
Yes.
Now is our time.
Yes.
But thank you so much for doing the pod.
Oh my
Thanks
God,
for coming to Glendale.
Oh my God, I love Glendale, and I thank you for having me on the pod. And I love your podcast. I've been listening since you were alone, since you were all by yourself.
Thanks.
Keeping me company.
It's been really fun having Rob. It's a lot easier to have someone to talk to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm banking as many episodes. I was joking earlier. It's like, you know, when like The View would go to LA for a week, or like Wheel of Fortune would go to Hawaii for a week. Like,
yeah.
This is my LA week. This is
LA week.
The Golden Girls go to LA for a week. And I'm just banking as many episodes as I can.
I would have worn a caftan. I have so many.
I know I should have brought them, but hopefully I can come back. I'm hoping that if this all takes off and works and is fun, I can come back like every, 6 months for a week and just record a shit ton of podcasts.
That'd be fabulous.
Because as much as I love you, Rob, my heart and soul,
Rob,
my treasure.
you're adorable. We love you.
My favorite. We're running out of stuff to talk about because we've already talked about everything. So it's nice to have other people to talk about things.
Oh my God.
Tell people where they can find you, where you want them to find you.
I want you to find me on TikTok and Instagram and Threads and everything. I branded everything, so it's the same. It's at Go for Sharon, not the number 4, FOR, like
GOFOR.
Where's Sharon? Go for Sharon.
Yeah. Walkie-talkie speak.
Yeah, I'm flying in. I'm flying in with Waters. You know, whatever.
Yeah, 10-1.
10-1. Somebody's 10-1-ing. I got a 10-20. Give me half an hour. Go for Sharon on everything, Instagram, TikTok, etc. I'm going to be uploading a lot of fun stuff this week. So come say hi.
Yeah, follow Sharon and make it all happen. And I will tag all that stuff below as well. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you're on YouTube or listening on Spotify and Apple, thank you for continuing to like and follow and comment and tell your friends. And let's get these numbers up, huh?
Let's get these numbers up.
All right. I will talk to you guys on the next one. Thanks for listening. We love you. Goodbye.